Good morning, Joshua. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm late this morning. It's been pouring down rain in here. And sometimes when we get a lot of rain, sometimes my internet just really acts up. So now I'm late, but I'm here. I hope you're doing well. How's the weather where you are? So it's slacked up raining, so I'm just gonna go. This won't be a long live stream either. But thank you so much for coming in. And thanks for the thumbs up. So how's the weather where you are, Joshua? So is it raining where you are, or is it a nice day where you are? It's not that it's not nice, but we've gotten a lot of rain so far this morning. So like I say, sometimes when it rains here, my internet service, it'll go down. I'll be down for a while, so I'm sitting here with these, looking at this big bag of Funyuns, and I need to cook me some breakfast. I like my snacks, but I really need to get up and start making breakfast. And it will be a late breakfast, but you know, they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And these Funyuns look all right. This bag look all right to me too. You don't cook breakfast every morning? What do you like for breakfast? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna fix me a quick breakfast. Let's try to put it maybe and see some of what I'm doing. Good morning, the Unfiltered Muffy. Welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you to come in, because I was supposed to have did the stream earlier, but it's been pouring down raining here. And sometimes when it rains so hard here so much, good morning, Life is Felicia. Sometimes when it rains so hard and so long, and it really don't have to just be pouring down rain in here. Sometimes my internet service just practically just go out, and then I won't have service. So I decided to just come on for a little while. And I hope you're doing well, Felicia. I hope everyone in the live stream is doing well. So I'm going to get up and just cook me a quick breakfast. And it might be late for breakfast to some of you all. But I have a bag of Funyuns. And I like the junk food, but I better really go ahead and cook me some real food. And I might eat some of the Funyuns later. But I appreciate you all for coming in, because I know I was supposed to have started at 9. But I mean, it just been pouring down rain in here this morning. How's the weather where you are, Felicia and the unfiltered Muffy. Is the weather fair there? Or have you all been getting a lot of rain also? Because sometimes when it rains, sometimes it make it buffer too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. And then if it start buffering, just let me know. And I'll probably just end the live stream because it's slacked up some here. So I'm gonna fix breakfast. And I don't know whether you all will be able to really see well what I'm doing, but I'm gonna have to wait. Okay, right where you can see some. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start out. Usually, I put my hash browns in the oven because I like baking them. And then if I'm baking them, I can do something else. So while they're in the oven. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cook them. I'm going to start them on, let's see, I guess maybe 400. And I guess I'll cook me about 2 hash browns, maybe 3. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. And so here are my hash browns right here. So I had an oven temperature on 4. I'm going to cook them on 400. Oh, okay. What is it? You're feeling a little down. If you don't mind me asking you, what is it? Why? If you don't mind me asking. Is it just one of those days, or you just not feeling the best? Okay, a cold or something. Okay. Well, sometimes you might can drink you some. Do you take medicine, or do you just prefer making homemade remedies? Sometimes you can just. I don't know. Are you congested? Because I'm sort of old-fashioned, like when it comes around to certain remedies. Spinning. Okay. That might, you think it's a cold or sinus? Does a sinus make you be sort of dizzy like at times too? Or you just feel that's more cold than sinus? Okay. Well, I hope you feel better because, I just can't. I mean, it's a lot of medicine that you can take, but then some people just don't like taking a lot of medicine. If you're like me, I really don't like taking a lot of medicine, but sometimes we have to still do things to help ourselves. Have you taken, watching and listening? Okay, thanks for watching. Good morning, Felita's Way. Okay, watching ads. But anyway, Felicia, with this pollen, with the pollen falling, and it just might be that. I don't know, but sometimes you might just have to. Probably allergies, yeah. But sometimes you might just have to take something. Good morning, House of Bling. Welcome to the live. I appreciate you all coming in because I'm so late starting this morning, but it's been pouring down raining here. And sometimes when it rains like that, and it really don't have to be raining real hard. This depends on it just all depends. And then sometimes my internet service, it just go down. And then I just decided to still do a short live stream. But I appreciate you all for coming because you didn't have to come in. So hopefully I will get good service until I get ready to end the stream. So what I'm about to cook, I'm gonna cook some hash browns. I'm thinking to have a late breakfast. Okay. I'm thinking to cook some late breakfast hash browns, and I'm gonna cook some bacon. And to be honest, I like to cook my bacon in the oven also. Hello, Felita's Way. Welcome to the live stream. Even though I got up early this morning, I cooked. And sometimes I don't like a big breakfast through the week, but on the weekend though, that's my time to eat a big breakfast. But this morning, I'm gonna cook some bacon, and I'm gonna cook these hash browns and an egg, because I think I've cooked. I don't think I have a 1 egg left, so I really need to go to the grocery store. But anyway, is everybody doing well? And I'm going to try to have it where y'all can see some of what I'm doing. And so is everybody doing well? We got one in here that, me too. Yeah. You cook your bacon in the oven. Yeah, because it's something that, and then really it's good like that. And then if you have something else to do, you can be doing it while your breakfast is cooking in the oven. Lately, that's where I've been cooking mine, in the oven. I just like to line my pan up a little bit with aluminum foil, and then just go from there. Probably moved it. So how's the weather where you all are? Is everybody? That's fine. I understand. I appreciate you for coming in because I'm so late. Sorry. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna line my pan up with this aluminum foil. That's the way I do before I even, sometimes, that's the way I do before I cook my hash brown. Because I cooked earlier. I got up this morning and cooked earlier at 5 something for my husband, so breakfast, and my son too. And then sometimes when I cook like that, I don't really want a big breakfast, but I'm late. I'm just gonna go ahead and cook breakfast again. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put 5 in, and I'm not gonna eat 5 hash browns, but I'm gonna have some for my daughter. So House of Bling, how's your grandbaby? Okay, it was raining there this morning where you are too. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's been pouring down raining here. So your grandbaby, House of Bling, how's your grandbaby? Felicia, how's your children? How's everybody? Is everybody doing well? And Felicia, some of your children, if you're not feeling the best, I think your 12-year-old would be a lot of help to you, right? So sometimes if you like I am, even though if you're not feeling well, sometimes you're going to get up and cook and do for your kids. And then if allergies, if that's what it is, sometimes if some of your neighbors or somebody cut the grass or something, that can make it worse. You know, if somebody out there next door to you and cutting grass or whatever. Sometimes that make some people feel worse if they're having problems like with the allergies or something like that. So I don't know. You might have to stay in if somebody next door is cutting grass or whatever. I don't know. But I hope you feel better. But is it anything you all want to have any questions or you want to say, help me? Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. That is really good. So are they in school or virtual learning or what? Okay, please wait. It's cold here. Oh, yeah, 30 degrees. Yeah, that's cold. It's not cold here. We've been getting a lot of rain this morning. But I just didn't get an early start to get on here because sometimes I get on here and it's possible that you're welcome. Sometimes I get on here and then with the weather being like it is, then sometimes it can just my service just go down or go out. And then that's just something I can't control. So like I say, I appreciate you all for coming in because you didn't have to do it because I'm 2 hours late. But anyway, I'm going to just cook breakfast and you all just stay in if you like. And then I understand if you, oh, yours in school. Okay. Well, it's quiet here right now. I used to babysit and I would babysit so many kids. But now I don't have anybody. I'm not babysitting right at the moment, but sometimes I think about starting up again. And that's just something I like doing. And but I just hadn't did it in a while. And now since this pandemic, I haven't did it. And I thought about putting up another ad, but I might just wait a little longer. So, but yeah, children are a blessing and they can help you a lot too. Even though if by the 12-year-old, and then if you just teach them that way, children usually know when mom is not feeling well and you have something there for them quick that they can fix for themselves, you should be able to rest. Because sometimes I understand if you're not feeling well, you just can't, it's just hard to sometimes to do your best. So do they really like school or do they prefer just mostly? Some kids don't like school. And I remember I didn't. Good morning, Zero. Welcome to the live. When I was in school, I just never liked school. I never did. But, that just everybody's not going to like school. My other two sisters, they liked it, but I didn't like it at all. So everybody, Zero is speaking and greeting everybody. He's greeting everyone. And then if you take that medicine, I guess, I don't know if it's allergies. I just want, about what kind of medicine you should take. But sometimes allergies can just are you sneezing a lot or are you just coughing or you say spinning, your head spinning? I mean, you type spinning. It might just be, sometimes if your head is spinning, it's a possibility. It doesn't. Well, that's understandable. I understand it. I understand. My sisters, they like school. I never liked school. I never did from day one, but I had to go. I was going to have to go. Mama was going to see to that. So I was going to have to get up and get out there and go to school. Then when I get back home, what I want to do when we got back from school, I wanted to watch TV. I wanted to watch old show like Sanford and Son. That's what I want to get home and do. But I had to go to school because Mama made sure that I went to school. We went to school. And children just different. They never, my children never really complained about it too much either. They know they had to go. Which all of my children, they've been to college. But they just, Everybody don't like school. And so if they say now, if they would say now, so they probably wouldn't want to go back if they just really needed to go back. But they've all went to college. So even though sometimes you know you need to go to school, all children I would just recommend. Sometimes parents might say, okay, they don't want to go, but it's best for them to go and learn what they can learn. But it's going to be some that don't want to go, and my name, out of my sisters, my name will be at the top of the list. But after I finished high school, then I ended up taking a course online for early childhood education. So I have that. I have a degree in that area. But as far as if somebody say, Derek, let's go back to school. Let's go back to school now. I just probably look at that person so hard. But I ended up taking that class, taking that course online. Yeah. Yeah. Parents, even every child, if they can, because sometimes children don't finish school. It just all depends on sometimes the parent, sometimes the mother can be deceased. It makes a difference. And sometimes children will do more after they get grown. But still, I think everybody needs to just at least try to, if he or she can. It just depends on their circumstances in the home. Sometimes children have an excuse. No, I'm tired all the time in the eye. Okay, my chest feels funny, hot flashing, maybe fever, I don't know, plus body aches. Okay, so you're tired all the time. Now, now I'm gonna tell you, sometimes if you like me, I don't know, I like eating a lot of junk food. Sometimes if you don't eat right, I can speak for myself, my energy level be so low. And then just like now, I'm cooking me breakfast. I'd rather be sitting right here eating this here. Now that's where I do some on. Lately, I've kind of bagged off. I get up, I'm eating chips, some kind of snack. Okay, snacks is you're not gonna get the energy you need eating like that. Even though I don't know whether you like snacks like that, sometimes it's just okay to take time and just eat a good breakfast. And then, they said breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But when you sit down and you eat your good breakfast, sometimes you might have to lay back down after your kids go to school. And, it just all depends. If it's allergies, I don't know. Most of the time, my youngest daughter, now sometimes her allergies bother her. She'll sneeze, and she was telling me her eye was swollen. But it don't do me like that. So I can't really talk too much on it. But sometimes you just have to. If you don't rest, it's just like a medicine. And I believe with 5 children, I believe you really seeing about your children, Felicia, it's a job. It's a job. But the thing of it is, sometimes you just might have to just rest. Just rest. And then if your eyes are tired, I can't answer none of this. This just a suggestion. Sometimes just go back to bed. Get you some rest. Get you some rest. Because sometimes if I don't get my right rest, I might get up and come in this kitchen. And when I get in this kitchen, I might be getting ready to put the pepper in the refrigerator. And I don't put my pepper. That's just what it do for me. Rest really helps. Because sometimes you don't get your right rest, you just don't function well. That's the way it is for me. And rest is important. It probably is allergies then. But I can't say too much about that because most of the times I don't have that problem. But a lot of times you just rest is okay. I don't like to lay down a lot. A lot of times, sometimes if I'm laying down just so much, either I'm not feeling the best, and thank God, most days I don't feel bad. But what I'm saying is this, just you have a job with your children. And when your kids go to school, you smile and go back to bed. Smile and get back in the bed. Because it's a job to raise children. And some people might say it's not, but yes, it is too. It was for my husband and me, because see, the thing of it is, I mostly would be at home and he would be at work. And then these children, it's just a job to raise them. And when I say, if you're gonna, some people it's not, because some people, if the children ask them this, can I go to this person's house? Now I'm old fashioned. Now I'm just gonna tell you, I'm a very old fashioned. When my children probably wanted to go places, a lot of times for me it was no. And so they knew that if they asked me, pretty much the answer was going to be no. Because the way I am, I just don't let children go from here to there. Let me go to my friend's house and let's go here and let's go there. I wasn't into that when my children were small. But now that they are grown, I look at them, and all you can do, once you'll get to that, Felicia, you pray for them. But then when they're small, you're gonna feel better with your children being at home. And it's hard to raise kids, and I say about rest, because you need rest. And once they turn grown, you're gonna be able to rest, but still, people might say, I'll be glad when y'all get grown. No, I don't remember saying that, because when they turn grown, they gonna be gone, and you're gonna be wondering, you're gonna be where this one is. And I know you got to let them go. Good morning, LaTanya. And I know you got to let them go. But now it's the time to, while your children in school, get you some rest. And yeah. Get you, that's just the way I was. Some people might say, you so old fashioned. That's okay. I mean, I wasn't into you going here and you staying all night here and there. No. So I was just, mine knew. They already knew before practice, before they asked, the answer was going to be no. And then they already know. And then back then they knew where they grown now. So what I do is just, all you can do when they turn grown, you pray for them, and you hope for the best. But just far as even my kids, when they were bigger, see, I live on a dead end. Even when my kids were bigger, I would walk them to catch the bus, because the bus wouldn't come down in here. So what I would do, I would get up, and I would get up, cook breakfast early, because they would be on that school bus some mornings before maybe 6:15 or a little after that. So I would get up and fix breakfast and do all that. But just far as when your children are gone, just rest. I just say rest your eyes. Do what you got to do so you can feel better. Because see, when my children were small, I didn't have all that where I was gonna say, well, you know what, y'all not feeling good. No, they was gonna be here, because my mother died when my children were very young, and I just wasn't gonna let them go. And my husband's mother, they never knew his mother, because shortly after we got married, his mother, she passed away. So what I did, I would have my children at home. You wasn't going to be at Tom, Dick, and Harry house. So they was going to be here. But believe me, they would do their thing here. But I was more comfortable with them. And I don't care what people say. Some people might give you advice, let them kids go here and let them go there. That's your choice. But when mine were small, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. So when they're in school, you just get all the rest you need to, because children, they are a blessing. And because you have more children than me. Mine are grown now, 5, and I have 3. Children, when they get home, they're going to entertain you. And what I mean by saying entertain you, they going to do their thing when they get home. They're going to be real noisy. Sometimes it's just for a mother. Sometimes mother might say, y'all being too loud. But I don't care how loud my children got. I'd rather for them to be here at home than to be with someone else. And that's just the way I was. When my children were here at home, and I say here because we lived, to be honest, we've been here now for a while, but it's more comfortable. with them being home with me unless my mom. Okay, well, see, you still got your mom. And like I say, my children, my mother died when my children were very young. And I just would know you're just not going to go here. You're not going to go there. And sometimes children just, they're blessed, but sometimes when they get home, I'm saying that in a funny way. I want you to laugh because they're going to entertain you when you get home. And I believe you know that. They are, yeah, and that's right. That's a good mother. And I'm not saying that others are not good mothers, but the thing of it is, I felt more comfortable with mine being at home. And I knew they were going to be noisy. I knew they were going to do things because children are just children, but it's just different. And I understand some parents are working, but I would suggest I'm on that old style. And, a lot of people, if you're old fashioned, you're not speaking that language, but I was just that way. I was just going to have them with me. Okay. The grandparents live out of town, but still that's a good thing, Latanya. You have your children, grandparents are still living. So they were with me. And sometimes people might say, you get so strict on your kids. To me, nowadays, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Every time somebody says something, can we go here and let's go here, and they doing it. I don't care what other people are doing. Sometimes what other people are doing with their kids, it doesn't work for yours. And it's just really hard to raise kids. And if they're in school, you rest. But when they get home, you got your job starts up. And I'm going to be honest, a mother job never. As long as her children she has children, you have something to do. Either unless you're taking this short route. So I think it's wonderful. I'd like to see mothers be good to their children because it just I didn't expect for, like, some people might have had a whole lot of support with my mother being deceased, then with my mother-in-law, she was deceased, and then I was at home and I just wasn't gonna be bothered about, y'all, you know what, y'all, this, that, and other, I'm gonna let you go to this person's house. No, I didn't want that. I didn't want it. No, it's nothing wrong with it. Your mom is nothing wrong with it. But I just think it's the best when mothers take up time, have time for your kids, because they're not going to always stay kids. They're not going to do it. They're going to grow up, and then I don't feel like putting my kids on my mom, plus this pandemic as well going. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I just wasn't for it. And like I say, I'm sort of old fashioned. So now they're grown now. And see, when they grown, people might say, I'll be so glad when y'all get grown. No, you might think so. But sometimes you won't. Because when they're grown, then they get their own car. Then you're kind of concerned about where they are, and then this, that, and other. And then see, when even all of my children, they work now. But just the idea, when you feel okay about it, when you know you did your best with raising your children, you feel your best. But if you can, do the best you can with it. And just be to got you some rest before they get off that bus. Because I know when they get home, children are free. And I'm saying that because when they have to leave school, sometimes they feel free when they get home. And then sometimes that's when they get there. I use that outlet. And my son, when he was little, he'd say, can I have my childhood? That's what he asked me to get home. And that meant he wanted to play the game some. When he got from school, he wanted to know, could he have his childhood? And then, yeah, you play your game, but then do your homework. And they know I was so strict on them. And see, now sometimes, to be honest, when you are, I told mine, stay home as long as possible. They can live with me until they say that. That makes sense to me. And when they ready, they're on them and their own place. I'm holding on to mine as long. That's right. That's right. That's right. And that's so nice. And I just love to see that in a mother, that comment, because some people might say when you get 18, you got to get out. What for what? You don't are you ready? Just because a person is 18, at 18, you still a teenager. Anytime it has teen in it, that child or those children are still a teenager. And I don't I don't like to see, that's just me. I don't prefer to, just to rush kids out. Some people just be so glad for them to leave, but I don't see it that way. And necessarily, some people just necessarily feel that way, but I don't. Right. That's right. That's right. Uh my two Latanya, my husband, like they they go to grow up one day. The minds will stand with me until they get married. Yes, that's so nice, and I just like to see that. And y'all, this just sometimes you don't just know until you talk to people, but everybody doesn't feel that way. But I'm fine with them being at home. And then sometimes, because like I say, when you all, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one in here that children are grown. I don't know, but when they leave, you're concerned about them. That's even if they go on a trip or something. I'm gonna call. I might ask, "Have you made it to your destination?" Yeah, mother's always concerned, and then I think mothers are more. You. I guess it just all depends. I think a mother's gonna just be concerned. I'm still going to teach them about the importance of credit, paying bills, learn to ride the bus. I would definitely won't handicap them, but I will as long as possible. Yeah. I guess a mother is just different. Sometimes I'll be just I get that phone, and sometimes when they hadn't made it from work, I'm gonna call and check on them. And I do more. I call more than my husband will. Sometimes he gonna get here, and if he watching a pretty good movie, but I'm gonna get that phone. Can't no one say they kept my babies. They were even at the hospital with me when I had my lady. I don't trust no one with my kids. Okay. I understand, I understand all that. But it's just a good thing. Now, sometimes that doesn't mean other women are not good mothers. Some people just actually have to leave and work. As a mother, we never stop helping. That's true. That's true. Sometimes, you just have to, and all I was doing, that doesn't mean other people are not good mothers, but some people know they're going to have to get up. They're going to have to leave. Some people are gone before their children even get on the bus. Even now, my children were in high school. When they were in high school, I would walk them to the road because, like I say, I live in a dead end, and I would walk them to the road like they were kids in grammar school. That the only one that was allowed to keep my kids was my mom, and she is no longer here. I understand. But the thing of it is, you just got to do what works for you. Even though I'm not going to say that people are bad. No, some parents just have to go and work. I understand that, but I'm just saying, as a whole, if you don't let your children. This probably gonna sound funny, but let your children worry you at home some. Let them get to you at home. Because I don't care what children are gonna be children. I don't care how you raise them. Children gonna do some things. But now you're gonna feel better when you know you did your best with them. And sometimes our best is just doing the best we can. And in order to do the best you can, the best we can, still we got to talk to God. Because He help us with our children. Even though people might say these my children, yeah, God help. He helped my husband and I to raise our children. And that's a blessing. It's a blessing when the Lord bless you to even live to see your children get grown. Some children parents are deceased. So it's just so many ways to look at it, be thankful. And that's just a blessing to me. Yes, especially in hospitals, because we live in a society that doesn't care about children, definitely not the welfare. No. And then I'm going to be honest, you got to look at it like this. Everybody don't like children. So sometimes I don't look at people and say, it's just all, and you only have them for such a small amount of time. Yeah, I see women move these strange men in their homes. I tell my kids, I don't know what goes on in other people's house. So I'm not going anywhere. Okay. I understand. I understand. And then I'm not gonna say I'm not trying to make it seem like everybody they do grow up fast. My oldest would be 13 in August. I won't. I want mine to stay blessed, but I know that's not possible. Yes, it's possible. Let me tell you. Let me tell y'all something. It's like this here. It doesn't make no any difference how you raise your children. They gonna sometimes children gonna do some things, you know. But what you have to do, you go back to the biblical principle. Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart. He will not depart when he is old. That don't mean when kids, even when they grow up, that don't mean they not gonna trip up. But let's go back to that Bible verse. It don't make no difference. It doesn't matter how well you raise children or a child. Oh no. Well, you know they can't stay babies. And you just have to trust God to help you with your children. Because really, I'm gonna be honest with you, true. It don't make no difference. It doesn't matter. We're gonna do our best for our children. And still, sometimes you're gonna look at them children like, what? I know, no, I know this. I know you didn't. I know you because children are not perfect. Parents are not perfect. So yeah, we want to stay blessed. But to me, I just really want to believe this what you instill in them, it comes back to them. You might look at them now and they might look like, God, what are you doing? This is don't make sense. But when you do your best, let the Lord help you. See, we don't need to leave God out. Anything we do. And sometimes you'll see good results. I'm not saying children gonna always, everybody's gonna not, they're not gonna make mistakes because that's not true. Now, if a person say, well, they raised the children so well, they never made mistakes, you know that's not true. But you gotta just do your best. Do your best. That's all you can do. And then when you do your part, then you're gonna feel okay about it. See, if we know we've tried to raise our children to the best of our ability. Sometimes people that you see, they did their best with their children. What you got to look at, a lot of times people might say, might feel like they want to down these because how their children are. And that's one thing about me. I don't believe in downing or trying to carry other people's children down. What you got to look at, first of all, sometimes people raise their children according to how they were treated. And sometimes everybody wasn't treated the best, even coming up as a child. So as for me, my sisters, my mother was very strict. And I guess I'm strict probably like she was. But how it was for us when we were children, my mother had her own business because she was a beautician. So she had her own building. When we made it from school, we went where she was working at. So it's different. So you gotta, if ever decide to have kids, I'm watching everybody make sure to eliminate as many possibilities as harm and coming to them by limiting who watch them, and that includes family. Yeah, yeah. But what I understand that. Well, some people just, it's hard to find. Sometimes it's not easy to find a good babysitter. But you just like I say, sometimes I talk and I just tell my daughter, I said, pray about it. Sometimes we just have to pray about things. But what I'm saying, when we were kids, my mother, she had her own business. So we were able to be there with her. She had her own building and we could be there with her. So even sometimes when she worked late at night doing hair, we was there. And we would even go to the movies on the weekends. But now mama didn't play. You hear me? Mama didn't play. So it's sometimes you got to look at it from different ways and different angles. Just because some kids do things, it doesn't make them bad. It don't make us no better than them. But you got to look at it. Some parents, they treat their children the way their parents treated them. So you got some people, I would say, make better choices than others. Some people do what they know to do. But then all you have to do is just do what you can. Yeah, no, you can't trust everybody with your children now. You just can't do it. You cannot do it. And then sometimes, children might think, "Oh, you being mean because you don't let us do what these folk over here doing." I don't look at it. I don't worry about what other people do. And when my children would live and they would want to go places, but that was okay. They were gonna be right at home with me. I mean, that's just the way I was, but that's the way I was, but still, you just gotta do your best. Teach them. That's all you can do. Because let me tell you, when children get out around other kids, sometimes they call it peer pressure. Sometimes kids gonna get around other children. I don't care how you teach them, what you tell them. Sometimes sometimes they're gonna get on. Sometimes it's possible. I use the word they're gonna get on the wrong track. It don't make any difference what you tell them. Children, they slip up because we're human. You can teach them this, you can tell them that. Sometimes people might say, "Well, you don't need to be with those kids because this, that, and other." Once you tell them that, that's all you can do. Now you can't. Sometimes your children, they're not going to be around you 24/7 all the time. So you're going to have to trust them. You're going to have to trust God. And then sometimes you just going to have to put some licks on them when they get home. That's what I did for mine. That's what I did. I didn't just love my children so hard that I didn't spank them. I did not. I didn't. I didn't do that. I didn't say, "Oh, you did that," and I didn't have a piece of tissue or paper towel in my hand crying. I did what it takes. And when I say I did what it takes, I got the belt, I got the switch or whatever. I really didn't care too much for using a switch on them, but they got, and they know it. They know they did because I didn't mind. Because that helps. Don't get me wrong, you can't whip a child for every little thing that child does because you have to talk to them. But sometimes you got to discipline them. You have to discipline. And mine, if they were sitting here beside me now, they would tell you, especially my oldest, she could tell you. They got it. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to let them, and then sometimes, I don't care what you do, they're going to have to see. It's just some things we had to see. It doesn't matter. Mama told us a lot of things. Like I said, Mama didn't play. And if she said this and she said that, you could believe what she said. You find out that mother kind of know. Mother, that's just a mother's job. I mean, I see people, some people might say, I just get so tired. I didn't ever get tired of my children because you get them here and then what you want to throw them away? No, you got to be patient with them. Like I say, you got to put some licks on them too. And in the long run, that helps them. But you can't, every time something come up, you just cannot spank and whip children for every little thing they do. Because see, sometimes when you get through then, you got to talk to them. Patient. You got to have patience with them. But I'm just saying as a whole, keep your children close as you can. Because there's going to be some days that, you'll be wanting them to be at home when they grow up, but they're not sometimes. Because see, when they get their own car and your grandmama, she knew what it takes. She knew what it took. Because sometimes you got to go, and where I live in the country, it's a lot of switching and stuff. I can go out there and break a limb, small switching, but I never liked using a switch. I preferred a belt. And to be honest, that's what it takes. I don't know. I guess this generation now, I don't know whether they'd be afraid if they spank the children. No, I was just going to go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because I'm not a baby, I don't need the mothering. I can take care of myself, and it's smothering, Felicia. In the country where my grandmother came. Yeah, I'm in the country. And I just believe now. But when I was babysitting, and that's something I like to do. But since this pandemic, I don't. And I stopped really before the pandemic. Now, what you got to do with other people's children, you got to be more careful with other people's children than your own. Because see, I would spank mine, and I would tell the parent even before I would keep the child, I really didn't whip other people's children, and they knew it. So I had a way of doing. I would keep a child, and the child sometimes would act up like children do. So let me tell you what I did. The little girl, she's scared of a cat, and I was at a cat would be out there on that porch, and I one day. It might have been night, and I ended up letting that cat in. And that girl hollered, and the cat was nervous. You don't have to spank children for everything. You do not. Uh, uh, you don't have to do it. But when I brought that cat came in, she was upset, and cause see, she knew I wasn't gonna spank her. If I'm keeping somebody else's child or children, no spanking, not for them. But my children, they knew they were gonna get it. But so that's what I did. I ended up I let the cat in, and she hollered, and the cat was acting nervous and all that kind of stuff. So you don't have to whip children for everything they do, but you have to discipline them. You have to. You just have to do it. Because if you don't, if you let children, they will have you. And I don't know how it is now, but sometimes kids will make you sit down if you don't have any rules about yourself. And I think that's bad. Sometimes some make mistakes. I let them make on their own, but I'm limiting who's watching my potential kid. You're right. You are so right. You have that choice. You have the choice to do that. But just far as kids, just let them mind just go from here to there. They got that choice now because they're grown. See, when they get ready to go places, they have their own. They have their own vehicle. So what I do, you just have to let them go. And it'll come back to them what you told them. The thing of it is instilling in them while they're small. You tell them what they need to hear. I'm not talking about everything you tell them. You laughing about it because some things in life is not funny to me. You have to be serious with children. You have fun with kids, but you have to be serious with them. You have to. Because if you don't, sometimes you'll be sorry, and I just believe telling them, what they need to hear. And sometimes, kids might feel like, oh, you're being so this, that, and that. No, you're not. Because the world don't love them. The world don't love them. So once you get out there in that world, they're going to meet different people. And just because they're mean people, that don't mean that those people are for them. And sometimes I never taught my children that just because everybody smile with you or people smile with you, that don't mean people like you. Sometimes people don't even like you on his own. I couldn't stop thinking about him for those hours. I know, I understand. Just because, but that's where I taught mine. They know. Sort of, I would say tough love. Just because you get out there and people call you, might say you friend or whatever, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean anything because people say friend and they want to be with you and all that kind of. Sometimes people just want to be with you just to see what you're doing. That don't mean they are for you. So I gave mine, I taught them tough love and they know it. But what you do, you got to let them go. Because see, one thing about it, when you let them go, you got to let them go and leave it up. Trust God. And when you teach them the best you can or do the best you can for them, yeah, they're going to go out there. It's no such thing as they're not. Because okay, Celeste, welcome, Celeste. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you're doing well. Kids will try you and think you're their friend rather than the grandparents or parents. You're right. You're right. I taught my kids that they are their own best friend individually. Well, now I'm gonna be honest. That's okay. It's not that we don't need to be around other people, but just because people call you friend. And that's the people, young people need to know that. Just because people might tell them when you want to ride with me, that's not, that don't mean anything. You want to teach your children, you want them to be loving toward other people, but you don't want them to think just because people with them, that don't mean people your friend. Sometimes people will be with you and they'll be right with you just to see what you're doing. And still, sometimes that can be your worst enemy. Just because folks stand beside you, it just don't mean that they're for you. And I taught them that. So I don't think it's just good to think that I don't think it's. I'm still here running. Okay, you thank you, House of Bling. And I had asked about your grandbaby, so I don't know whether you were on the phone or whatever. But sometimes children have to be taught tough love. That's the way it was with me. You just can't. Don't let them think that just because this person want to come visit you, that doesn't necessarily always mean that's a good friend. Some people just want to be around to see what you're doing. And a person, to be honest, people can walk right beside you. And sometimes you can think, oh, we this, we that. Sometimes that can be your worst enemy. People that's right there with you every time you get in the car, you crank up, you got to go by and you got to pick these folk up here and you got to get these. And sometimes, but to be honest, life will teach them. It teaches them because it just is our responsibility as parents. But still, it doesn't matter. You still going to have to trust God. You got to let those children go. And what you tell them, it comes back to them. It really does. It really will. Right? They will set you up. Yes, they will. Yes. And then sometimes it don't necessarily, it just that sometimes people just think everybody love them. And I don't know. I guess maybe if I had been raised, if my mom was just real soft and easygoing, and how she taught us, we didn't think everybody was our friend. We didn't think that. We didn't even think everybody liked us. Even as I get older, I know better, but she didn't. Yes, trusting God is all there, is all the time. Yes, and then sometimes we have talked to them about the Lord. Some people, if you talk about the Lord, they might want to get up and leave when you're talking about him, but we need him. Our children, they need to know about him. They need to, because you can't just think that that's fine. That's fine. You just can't think that everybody like your kids. I don't think that. I heard a lady say everybody love my children. No, that is not true. It's not true. You look at how people are treating children now. So I never taught mine that everybody like you. Everybody love you just because you a baby or whatever. No, they don't. People don't like babies. People don't like it. It's just a lot. That's why I say raising kids, it's a job, and it's more to it than talking foolishness around them. It's okay to get a laugh. It's nothing wrong with that. It's for parents to be with their children. You have fun, but you got to look at, it's got to come a point in time. It got to be some serious conversations. It have to be, because if you don't teach them that and they get out there and they don't know, but everybody love me. Everybody love me. No, that is not true. Children need to know. Even sometimes they need to know about love, but they need to know you can't even tell sometimes the people that's with them, around them, sometimes friends, sometimes so-called friends, they don't need to think that everybody love them, because honestly, I don't care for some kids, especially if they're not blood. Okay. Yeah. Well, see, I understand, because Sharon is speaking to everyone, but you got to realize that all we can do is do right ourselves. But as a whole, I just believe tough love is the best love. Even though children don't like it when you're giving them tough love, they think you're mean, but that's not true. I think when children really understand what they are doing wrong and how it affects them and everyone around them, yeah, they gonna understand. But you still got to, you got to stick in there with them and let them know when they're wrong. Now, this is what I believe in too. When children are wrong, I'm being a mother myself. I should be telling my children if they're wrong. If they are wrong, I shouldn't just get so tickled and say, oh, okay then. Wow, I get a big laugh. Sometimes you're not helping people when you laugh and not let them know when they're wrong. Because one day they're going to have to leave us and get out there in the world. And the world is not easy all the time. It's not easy a lot of times getting out there in the world. It's not easy. So truth helps you. Sometimes people don't like truth. But that's the only way you can help your children is telling them the truth. and it's a way to tell them. But when you tell them the truth, you helping them. But if you sit up and find everything funny and just, well, we just gonna not sit and say that, yes, tell them the truth. Because honesty is the best thing. Because when they leave home and get out there in that world, they gonna find out that everybody is not for them. And they need to know that. They need to know it. Everybody is not looking out for them. Everybody is not for them. Everybody don't want to see them succeed. You got it's just all kind of people in the world. It just some people, it don't make any difference. They just, everybody, it don't like kids. Everybody don't care. And sometimes giving them those answers, they might feel like you're being rude. No, I'm not. You're preparing them to get out to the real world. You're preparing them for that. And parents should be able to admit when they are wrong so their kids won't resent you being whole. Be whole, do as I say and not as should I be the example? Yes, parents should be the example. You should be the example. How can children honor thy father and thy mother? You're supposed to honor them. But now when you're telling children something, you need to let them see that in you. That's even when you tell a child or children, y'all, we supposed to love these folks. Okay. Do you really love people? Or are you just saying that? They need to know that. They need to know it because now I'm going to tell you about children. Even at a young age, sometimes you can sit up and talk. Sometimes people sit up and talk bad and all this kind of stuff. Let me tell you, when you get around those kids, it's going to show in the children. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to say anything. If we just say, for instance, if a person wants to sit up and just always down on other people, go around the kids. Just get around the kids and you're going to know somebody has been talking bad about you. Why? Because kids, one thing about kids, until they get a certain age, kids don't put on fronts. Now, I'm just going to tell the truth. Sometimes grown people might, but children, And the best thing we can do is just keep it real. Don't be talking about these folks because it's going to show when people are carrying you down, it's going to show in the children. Sometimes kids might be just looking at y'all strange. You know what? Sometimes we don't need to be talking about these folk and these people hadn't did anything to us because it's going to show on the children. Because children just going to let loose. They going to say it. They going to say it. And sometimes you can try to be nice to people. But if we spend time being at home just carrying people down, and sometimes the children, because one thing about me, children try to be friendly with kids. But sometimes if kids treat you dry, you kind of have an idea. You sort of have an idea. But, I'm a person like this. Sometimes I'm going to use the word, I play dumb. You can know what people are doing. You don't have to say anything because it going to show on the children. So if ladies, men, sister and brother, if they just sitting around home just carrying folk down and carrying these folk down, when the children come around, they ain't gonna act exactly right with you. So best thing we can do is let's try to teach them right. And because when you talk and if we sit around and we talk a whole lot of unnecessary talk, it gonna show on the children. I'm just gonna say it that way. I've seen it. I've seen it. And sometimes, I just don't act like I be knowing what be going on, but you have to go on. So the best thing people can do is let's do our best with our children. And if you see somebody else's child, you can help along the way, but you have to be careful with others. Just the same. Another thing I never liked, the whole be seen and not heard thing. Children should not be silenced because about the time that they are to speak, they lose the ability to freely speak. Yeah. But the point I'm making, I'm saying, for instance, just like sometimes, lady, sometimes people can sit around and some people just love to gossip. Some people gossip. And just because, now you don't have to be doing anything bad. Some people just might want to sit around and talk about other people. And if you let those children or that child hear you're talking about other people, you know what children do? They'll turn right around. And when those folk come around, they gonna act dry toward the people because something they heard. And that's not good. So when we talk to children, we want to try to raise them the right way, because sometimes children, they are gonna do and they gonna do and hear, and they're gonna act according to how what they heard. So I just think it's just best to, yeah, let kids express themselves. I know that, but when I'm saying as raising, I'm here at home. Why would I get on the phone and just be just talking about folk, talking about folk, talking about folk so bad? This is the point I make. And then when those folk come around, sometimes kids gonna look at the folk like looking at them all strange. Why? Because if I'm sitting here just talking about people so bad, children don't, they gonna act dry or they gonna act funny toward you because something the mom has said. So what I'm saying, I really don't find everything funny in raising kids, because sometimes kids, they get out there in the world. Sometimes people get mistreated over something been said from the parent and all that kind of stuff. See, I'm not into that. But I like raising kids and trying to talk against other grown-ups don't keep things private from kids anymore. Okay. Okay. And then see, it makes the kids, sometimes people are disliked over. So I'm gonna make my point. If y'all just stay here with me, I'm trying to make my point. Sometimes kids can be treated cold over something that someone, a grown-up, has said. And in order to raise kids, we need to teach them right from wrong, not mess, not confusion, And sometimes it's just so many reasons of why kids are just the way they are. Sometimes people can say something. And I'm going to use myself, for example. It's just simple as sometimes people can lie on one another. Do you not know lying on people can make a person be mistreated? Sometimes people would treat one another dry over a lie. So I just wouldn't want to do that. So raising kids is just in every area. It's not easy. Sometimes even if you're talking and children, they can hear us say the wrong thing. And then a lie go a long way. It goes a long way. So when we raising kids, let's try to teach them love too. And all that, we need to teach them love. But then in all that, it's a mixed up thing. We teach them love, but you still need to teach them everybody's not for them. They need to know in every way to love people. But just because you love people, that don't mean those are the people you need to be around. It's hard. To me, it was hard raising mine, because see, you got to tell this one that. You got to tell children different. Some may be more understandable than others, and some might feel this way and that way. It's just so hard. But as a whole, we have our work cut out for us raising children, because some people, everything kids hear is bad, is negative. Some people can sit up and just feel like, I just don't like this lady. And this lady don't have to be and did anything to you. If you let these children hear, sometimes children gonna go right back, and it can just be bad. So in raising them, we gonna do the best we can. And then you gotta teach them. Everybody don't love them. Sometimes they need tough love, but yet and still, when we talk around our children, they need to know we love people. All of that kind of stuff. It's just in every area. We need to do the best we can for them. Even when they do something crazy, because children do crazy things. We be them did. We need to teach them when they do stuff kind of crazy. We don't need to teach them, oh, that's so funny what you did. No. Mm-mm. Everything just don't be funny when you're trying to raise kids. Because it's hard. And then if everything kids do and we find it funny, and then as they get older, we don't want our children to shame us. We don't want it. But we want to be where we can do the best we can with our children. And we want to be, when they see you show love, that they have love in them. But when people see a lot of confusion and they show that to their children, sometimes they're raised up in that environment. And it's just so many ways we have to try to raise children. Thanks for participating today, everyone. Don't forget. But I'm going to still get back to trust God. Put your trust in God to help you. There's no way in the world I could have raised my children without God's help. Sometimes I always say that we got to acknowledge God in whatever we do. We need him to help us because there are no perfect children. There are no perfect parents. So we need help. We need the Lord to help us. But what we need is just do the best we can. And the Lord, when you do the best you can, Lord gonna help you with the rest. So, but I would just want to talk on it because I just really I'm very fond of children. But right now, like I say, I don't have any here to babysit, and I like babysitting at the time. But it's possible that I may eventually start back. But I'm glad you mothers kind of see it like I do. You know your children small. Keep your children with you, and they will appreciate it. The topic I'm just talking about raising children, and it's a job to raise children. Sometimes it's just not always easy, and sometimes parents be working. Everybody can't be there with their children all the time when they're small, but for the ones that can, I think it's just wonderful for them to be able to keep their kids with them and don't run them away from home because some people they just be wanting children to be gone for what? If you it's not easy at all. It is not easy to raise kids, but if you do your best, they'll remember that. They remember that once they grow up. Not saying now, as long as they're small, children are gonna think when you're so a lady told me a long time ago, she said, she said you overprotective. Now, if your mom don't try to protect you, who else gonna do it? Yes, enjoy them while they're young because there's gonna be some days they're not gonna be at home. So yeah, it's a job, and be thankful for your children. Lord bless you with them, and you just have to deal with them. It's gonna be some days they might get up and you look at them one side, put your head to the side, look at them. They're yours. They're still yours. Sometimes people want to be so this and talk about their own children. No. Why would you talk about your own children? Because you had them, they're yours. And whatever they're doing, do your best to help them. It was a good thing or not? No, well, not no. That was yes, it is a good thing because if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that's all. And I'm just being honest. I like it when mothers look like they love their children. I just really like that because nowadays you look like some people don't even look to me. It's really strange. But people have their way of raising their kids different. But I just think for sure that when people can raise their kids and Lord bless you to raise your children, you might have to be strict on them. You may have to because let's see, look at that. You may have to. You might just have to because in the long run, I don't call it love. I don't say it's love if people just let the children just have their way all the time. You're going to bear with them at a certain age. Some kids, they have them temper tantrums. But when they get a certain age, you're going to try to, you're going to try to do what you can for them. But to me, a child you got to start out with kids. You got to be patient with them. You got to talk to them every time they do something wrong. Now, I wouldn't suggest this every time they do something wrong, you go and grab the belt. You got to talk to them. It's time. It'd be a time for all that. That's in raising children. It's a time to whip them. It's a time to talk to them. You just can't do it every chance you get. Because sometimes children, I don't know. It doesn't take that every time a child does something. So, upbringing, because they're so disrespectful these days. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Mm-hmm. But now, I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't know, but it just sometimes children have been raised different. See, I'm gonna tell you, I can just be honest. Sometimes it just all depends on the raising. And then sometimes the best kids can get off track. If there's no such thing as kids won't do wrong, because like I say, we're human. They're human. We're human. We parents. We mess. We sometimes we can do the best we can. We don't always not mess up. But what we can do, we can do our best with God here. We can do our best. That's anybody. But the thing of it is, sometimes it just all depends. It just, to me, children, just do your part. But sometimes I think, for instance, I'm a mother. I'm old fashioned. If my children say, well, they're going to go out and dance, and I'm not knocking that. But to me now, I don't think I'll get to a place and the people don't know me being their mother. They don't know I'm the mother if I'm trying to act younger than my children. Now, that's just what really don't make sense to me. I'm not trying to, I'm these folk mother. I think I should get to the place where people can say, I know those your children there, because it's going to be your character, your conduct. So sometimes we have to just kind of think about things. It can't be so hard on kids if we're trying to act younger than our children. I just can't get it. I cannot get it. So it's a job to raise kids, and mothers, we have to talk is the best thing to me impose. To beating on them instead just take something away from them. They enjoy, that's all. Yeah, well, sometimes they gonna sometimes you never spank your children. We talk is the best thing. Well, now I just, yeah, talking is all right, but it came some times when I just had to discipline mine with a belt. And after I did it, they understood why I did. And then I talked to them. Sometimes get a belt, it's okay. It's okay. Because if you talk to some children, and some children you got to do a little more for them than others. It all depends. See, what worked for some doesn't work for others. It's just like some people you can talk to, and it's like they don't hear what you're saying. So sometimes, like saying the song, sometimes you got to give them something they can feel. Now, I'm just being honest. And in the long run, they're not going to hate you for it. They're not going to hate you for it. Talk. It's a time to talk. It's a time to spank children too. That's right. That's right. In other words, you're not trying to be their friend. You got to raise them. Because once they get out there in the world don't love them. People in the world, they don't care what happened to them. They don't care. You got to be able to show them love in every way. Every way, whatever it takes for parents to raise their children. Yes, you do not have to spank. Sometimes that's true. No, not sometimes. But sometimes man, they got them. They got them. And afterward, they got okay. They really did. The same thing that way when I was coming up as a child. My mom didn't just sit up and talk to us and made her face, just had a mean face. No, mama did. She did that and more. And it didn't hurt away anything from it. Yes, they should do the best they can for them. But you just got to do what works for you. But in the long run, when you do your best for your children, they're going to appreciate it. There's no such thing as they won't appreciate it. Because someday it may be, I talk to my kids more, but when it's needed for that, but they have to do something bad that needs to be corrected. Yeah. Sometimes talking don't do nothing. Yeah, it's a time, sort of like a time in a season. It's sort of like it's a time to talk, and then it's time to, kind of get with them some. They gonna appreciate it. They won't hate you for it. They really won't. Because see now, when they get out there and they get older, they gonna see why you did the things you did for them. That's the thing. When they leave home, they gonna see why you did what you did for them and to them. Because when they get out there, I say the real world, and you get out there and people trying to influence you to do all this different stuff, and your mom and dad have told you don't do it, they gonna appreciate it. Because if everything is yes to them now, it's gonna be some people out there in that world gonna get with them. And people out there get with you sometime. It doesn't mean they're doing this to help you. Sometimes it just people can be in bad influence. Okay, not all the time. But that's what it's about. But I guess I'm gonna go ahead and I just can't give my kids that look. Oh, you can't? I can just give my kid. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, see, if you give them a look and they get in line, they know you're not playing with. You know, they know you're not playing with. Some people can give you a look, and the children know even when their parents are sincere. That's even when I was keeping kids, and sometimes I try to change my voice and had talk to them, and children they just they just knew I wasn't mean to them. They know I wasn't mean because one thing about it, children are smart. They know when you're not nice to them, and they know even sometimes I sort of change my voice a little bit. Children know when you're sincere, and you don't just have to walk up to a child and put your hand in the collar and pull them to you. You don't have to do all that. They know when you're sincere. They already know. But it's a blessing. Lord bless you with your children or your child or children. Be thankful, but do as much as you can for them to help them along the way, because they're not going to always be with us. And when they have to leave, we want to still be proud. And then it's not that you're not going to be proud, but you just want what's best for them. Here, my niece and nephews make me smile when there is no reason. I love them to pieces. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because you're going to laugh with them. Sometimes, you laugh, and sometimes I just be just looking and listening. As parents learn, just talk, let the children talk sometimes. Because sometimes, they be wanting to talk and express themselves. And the best thing parents can do is just let the children express themselves. I want to thank you, Deborah, for being there to support my grandson first debut yesterday. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. He's precious. All babies are so precious. Okay. How old is he? See, Lord bless you to be a grandparent. Lord bless us with our children. And you ought to be thankful for them. Do what needed for them. Love them, teach them, and trust God, because that's all we can do. But I thank you all so much for coming in, because I usually try to stay in an hour and a half. And usually, I should have been in earlier, but it's been raining so hard here. He's 2 months. Okay. And it's been raining here so hard today. So sometimes if it's raining so hard, sometimes it probably buffers so bad. Or else it's a possibility that my services will go out because of all the rain. And oh, he's a premium. Okay. Okay, well, that's wonderful. You have a grandbaby. Is your first grandbaby? I can sit here and talk to y'all. The only thing I did cook was my hash browns. So I have those now. That's cooking. That's just, and then I got my hash browns. Maybe y'all see it. What I'm going to do, I still will. I got to have more of these hash browns. But anyway, I appreciate you all for coming in and staying in with me, because you didn't have to do it. But I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. And I hope you all continue to do well. Felicia, if you're still in here, I hope you continue. I hope you feel better. But like I say, sometimes rest is like a medicine. You might have to go to bed if your children are there. If they're not there, sometimes you just have to go in that room and close that door up and get you some rest. But thanks so much for coming in, y'all. And let's all remember, and I know I don't have to tell you, you're welcome, Felicia. I know I don't have to tell you all, but let's just always, whatever we go through, let's just always talk to God about it. When you're feeling good, thank God. Sometimes when you're not good, still talk to God about it, because He know what we are going to go through. He know what we go through, and just remember, you can talk to God. You can tell him anything. You can talk to him and tell him whatever you're going through. And I'm going to be like the old folk. He won't tell nobody else. Whatever you need to talk to him about, he won't tell anybody else. Even if you're just feeling sick. And what I mean by that, it's good to be able to tell people things, because now the Lord bless us to be able to help one another. But when you feel like sometimes you don't feel good, sometimes you just have to just talk to him and go from there. Because I have to talk to him about so many things. And then I don't mind saying it. I don't mind saying I have talked to God about so many things, because this is where my help comes from. He helps us with our family. He helps me. He helped my husband. Now he helped us to raise our children. And he's going to help you all. And so one thing about it, God is just, when you're feeling down, you can talk to him about it. Anything you go through, you can talk to him about it in life. He's so cute, Lily. So, yeah, she's going to enjoy her grandbaby. But you just have to just remember, just get you some rest. Because I don't know very much about allergies. But my youngest daughter, she probably could tell you, if she was here, sitting here beside me, she probably could tell you. Because she was telling me when she said her eye was swollen. Then, like I say, some people, but she was saying bye, everybody. So I guess she ready for me to get out of here. But anyway, y'all know that's my sister. But anyway, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off here. Sometimes if you have a neighbor and that neighbor cut grass or whatever, that might make your allergies, that might make it bother you some. But thanks you all for coming. And I hope you all have a good day. And I'm going to go ahead and get off here and finish with my breakfast. Bling, your sister must be an angel too. She is, I see this laughing emoji, but she already typed by, so she might be ready for me to get off here. So y'all have a good day, y'all. And thanks again for coming.